What is going on, everybody? Buddy Blackford here with another Photoshop CS6 tutorial. Today we're going to be working with the line tool, and I'm going to give you an introduction to it. Now, what the line tool does is it just basically creates lines for you to use by dragging from one point in the document to another. Now, your line is over here in the Tools panel, underneath the Text tool, underneath in the section that the Rectangle tool or like the Custom Shape tool is in. And you can see that U is the hotkey. So go ahead and select your line tool, and we're going to start off here by changing this to pixels, and this will allow us to create rastered layers, ones that are already ready for you to save out or anything like that. So go ahead and just drag, and you create a new line on the layer. Now, it's a good idea to create the lines on separate layers. For example, if I create another line here, and now I want to go move this line, the bigger line, let's see. I can't because I'm going to be dragging on both lines. So let me go back, create the new layer, make my line, and now on this layer I can move, I got to get like right on the line. I can move just the layer individually. So let's go over some of the options that we've got here. We have, let's go to our line here. We've got these options right here. We're allowed to put arrowheads on the start or the end of our line. Let's go to end. And that's how you make arrows. Now, if you want to increase the weight, you can. Let's go to like 16 or something like that. And now when I draw my arrow, it's a lot thicker. So that's how you make the arrows a little bit bigger. You've got your width, length, and everything of your arrow here. So if I change this to like 500 and do this, you can see that the length of the arrow is shorter. The actual arrowhead is what I'm talking about. So let me go back so that we just have our regular layer there. Now, if you're creating a line, see if that's how this one looks. And if you look at the line and it doesn't look very smooth, you want to make sure that anti-alias here is checked so that it is smooth. If I take that off and try to create a line, you can see how it's a lot more jaggedy and crappier looking. So have on anti-alias to make it look smooth, and it'll look a lot nicer. So we've got our opacity here, which is self-explanatory. It's just going to be less opaque if you put the opacity down. And then we've got our blending modes here, where it's going to affect how it blends in with the rest of the document, as you can see. Now, if I just have it on normal, it's just going to go across these normally. So you can use the blending mode to change how these lines interact. And if you want to take off your arrowheads, you can just uncheck, and then you won't have arrows anymore. So that's how these lines work when you have it on pixels. Now, if I change this to shape, and let me go back to this, when I create a new line, it's going to show up as a shape layer. And I don't have to create a new layer because it'll create new layers for me. And now these shape layers can act as shape layers, which I haven't gone over yet, and I'm not going to yet, but just keep in mind that you can create shape layers with these. And then the next thing that we have is the path, and this allows you to create a path for a line. And if I go over here to the paths, I have a new path there, and these paths can be imported into Illustrator so that you can work in Illustrator with them. Now, a cool thing with the lines is that you are able to hold down Shift when you're drawing these. Let me take it off path, and let me just put it on pixels or something. As I'm drawing this and I hold Shift, I am able to create 45-degree angle lines and 90-degree angle lines. And you can see your degree angle at the end of my cursor. So this one's 20.5, and then it shows you the length in pixels. So This is new in Photoshop CS6 where it does this, and it's actually pretty helpful. Now, one thing you might want to use lines for is guides. So when you try to use these guides up here, you only get horizontal and vertical guides. If you need a guide that's like at a 45-degree angle or a different type of angle, then you're going to want to use the line tool. Just create your line as a guide, and then if I needed to like type up text along this line, I could. And when you are using it, just name a guide, lock the layer. So I would hit lock right here, and then I won't be able to move it around. And then just hide it when you don't want to see the guide anymore, and just delete it when you're done. So that's how they can be used for guides. So you've got the line tool that can make arrows, it can make lines, and you can use it as a guide also. So that's the intro to the line tool, and you can make some cool line art with it and other things if you want to become more advanced using the line tool. So thanks for watching this tutorial, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Have a good day, everybody.